Hello friends, welcome back. I hope you remember the things that we discussed in the last class about different types of farming. We said about subsistence farming and commercial farming. And subsistence farming can be divided again into intensive subsistence farming, where the farmer cultivates multiple crops one after another, two times, three times, four times in the same field in a year. While nomadic farming, we said it is mostly the people who are moving around with all their flock, everything. So they are not mostly cultivators, but they are shepherds, we can say. They are keeping animals like yak, camel, sheep, and so on. So they carry the animals as they go around. They search for the grazing place for the animals, then they look for milk products, the skins, the hair, the silk, the wool, all those things they look for. And all these farming research, it is not meant for commercial purpose, not for selling. They are doing it only for their own maintenance of the family. Now we come across commercial farming. That means we do farming for the purpose of selling, for business. We produce plenty so that we can sell it and we can make money. That is the purpose. So that's the main difference between the subsistence farming and the commercial farming. Subsistence farming is for one's own family maintenance, for their own use only. But commercial farming is for the purpose of selling. Commerce means business, to do business, to sell it to others and get profit and so on. Let us see what are the commercial farming. So in commercial farming, crops are grown and animals are reared for sale in the market. You can underline. What is the purpose of commercial market? People grow plenty of crops, especially those who have got huge areas of cultivation field. They will cultivate plenty and they will sell in the market. Or those who are growing animals, or those who are growing fish, they grow plenty so that they can sell it in the market. So this is profit oriented, profit motivated. And the area cultivated and the amount of capital used is large. So since they have to cultivate plenty, they have to use large areas. Large areas are used for cultivation, and when we cultivate in a large area, we need plenty of money to begin. We need to buy seeds, we need to buy fertilizers, we need to hire a lot of laborers, then we have to hire tractors, tillers, all that. So we need plenty of money also. That is called capital. The money that we use for beginning a business or beginning a work is called capital. We need to have so much money in our hand to spend. At the end we will get back the money after selling all the products. But before that we have to use a lot of money. And most of the work is done by machines. That is another important thing. In the commercial farming, where the large area is cultivated, then we hire machines. For example, we call tractor for plowing the field. We cannot go on doing with the spade. Then it will take such a long time to finish. So therefore, we need to do with the machine. Harvesting also will be done with the machine and so on. So commercial farming includes commercial grain farming, mixed farming and plantation agriculture. So this also, it has got 2-3 types. One is commercial grain farming, then another it has got mixed farming, then it has got plantation. So it has got plantation. So we can divide this one into 3. So grain commercial farming, mixed commercial farming and plantation commercial farming. These are the 3 types of commercial farming. And you can see the figure is given there in 4.5. A sugarcane plantation. So a large area is cultivated sugarcane so that they can sell it for making sugar, producing sugar, jaggery and so on. Now let us see one by one. In commercial grain farming, crops are grown for commercial purpose. So in the commercial grain farming, the grain is grown, maybe paddy, maybe wheat, so whatever may be the grain that is grown for commercial purpose, for selling, not just meant for their family, but it is meant for selling to the market. Wheat and maize are common commercially grown grains. We can underline which are the common grain, wheat and maize. Wheat and maize are the common commercial grains. And major areas where commercial grain farming is practiced are temperate grasslands of North America, Europe and Asia. So these are the main areas where this commercial grain farming is practiced. So it is the Northern America where there is temperate grasslands. Temperate means moderate. So there it is not very hot, not too cold. So it is a nice moderate climate where the grass is growing. There is no forest, no trees, nothing. So long plain areas. So that kind of areas are chosen for grain farming. So there is North America, Europe and Asia. These are the three continents where this grain farming is practiced. Then these areas are sparsely populated with large farms spreading over hundreds of hectares. So these areas are sparsely populated. Sparsely means very thin population. People are not settled there. So it is far away from the city, far away from the town, and the plain, large, vast areas, and very few populations are there. Therefore, this land is very vast, and the owner or the farmers can cultivate nicely. So hundreds of hectares of lands are there. And severe winter restricts the growing season and only a single crop can be grown. So when the winter comes, it is very severe and they cannot cultivate. The plants will not grow in the winter. Therefore, they can cultivate only one crop in this season, in these areas. That is during the summer season. When the rain comes, they will plant it. So that is a specialty of this. So maybe it is because of the severe winter, people are not settled there. People staying there means it will be very cold and they may catch sick and so on. So this area is simply left free. So people cultivate there during this summer season, and they are able to cultivate only once. Before the winter comes, they will try to harvest the crop and they will sell it and make money. Then during the winter it will simply remain there and grass may start growing. And when the next season comes again, they will clear off the grass and they will cultivate again another crop. So that is the style that they are practicing. Then when we come to mixed farming, in mixed farming the land is used for growing food and fodder crops for rearing livestock. So in mixed farming, what do? They use for growing food and fodder crops. So they will cultivate food items and also fodder. Fodder means, I said in the last class, the food for the animals. So they grow both food crops as well as fodder crops. So that means for animals as well as human beings, they will be planting, mixing, and it is practiced in Europe, Eastern USA, Argentina, Southeast Australia, New Zealand and South Africa. So they plant some crops. For example, we can say some grain they are planting, some vegetables they may plant, or some wheat they may plant. Then in between they will also plant the grass that may be good for the animals, or some other crops which are not used for human beings but used for animals. So that also may be planting. So they will be mixing different types for different purpose. They may be mixing and planting. That is mixed planting. Then plantations. The third type of commercial farming is plantation. So Plantations are a type of commercial farming where a single crop of tea, coffee, sugarcane, cashew, rubber, banana or cotton are grown. So this is important. Plantation is a large area where a single crop is planted. So that is important. In the plantation, they don't mix and plant. Mix one is here. Another one. Mix means it will not be called plantation. So they plant a single crop, and that is not just for 1 year. It will be lasting for many years. That same crop, like tea. If you plant tea, it will go for many years. We don't have to plant every year. So it can grow for many years. Or coffee, or rubber, or sugarcane. Sugarcane also, after 1 year we can cut, but new shoots will grow up again from there. We don't have to plant again and again. From the root, new shoot will grow. Then cashew nuts. Those are all trees and it will remain. So once you plant, we plant only one type of tree. We don't mix up. We don't plant different type of trees. We plant same type of trees, and that remains for many years, and that is called plantations. And large amount of labor and capital are required. So here also large amount of capital and labor are required, because this is such a large area. If you go to Assam also, you will see tea gardens, very large. If you look from one side, we cannot see the other side. It is so large, so huge. So to start a cultivation or plantation, we need lot of labor, lot of people have to work, and to pay them salary, to hire the vehicles like tractor and other things, we need lot of money in the beginning. Once we finish planting, things started growing, then expenses are less. So till that time, or till we start harvesting the fruits, receiving the fruits, then till that time we will be going on spending money. Especially in the beginning of the plantation, we need lot of money and lot of labor are required. And the produce may be processed on the farm itself or in nearby factories. So when we have this plantation, for example tea factory, mostly in the tea garden itself they will make a factory to do the processing. They have to pluck the leaves of the tea garden from the tea plants and take it to the factory, dry it, process it, and at the end it is turned into tea leaves for we can use for consuming and so on. So lot of process is there. So they try to make the factory also there itself, so that they don't need to carry these tea leaves far away to the city to do the processing. So mostly they set up factory also there, so that people also can work there. Then the development of a transport network is thus essential for such farming. So since we have to go around, it's a large area, and we have to go around collecting the leaves that the people are plucking, and these days they are using machine for cutting the plants. Before they used to go and cut with finger one by one. So nowadays modern technology is they use cutting like scissors, they cut the leaves. So whatever they cut, we have to go and collect. So transportation facility is there. Between the garden there should be vehicle, road should be there, and vehicle can go and connect. So well connected network of roads should be there. Then only the work will be progressing and it will be faster. Then major plantations are found in the tropical regions of the world. So tropical regions where this high temperature is there, it is there usually the plantation farming is practiced. So rubber in Malaysia, coffee in Brazil, tea in India and Sri Lanka are some of the examples. So all these countries are the tropical region where there is hot climate. So rubber in Malaysia is known for cultivation of rubber. They plant a lot of rubber. Then coffee, Brazil is cultivating, Brazil has got a lot of coffee plantations. Then in India and Sri Lanka there is a lot of tea gardens, tea plantations are there. See, so these are some of the examples where countries are practicing this different type of commercial farming. So we have learned about this different type of farming. Grain farming, where only grains are cultivated for the business purpose to sell the grain in the market. So here the mixed farming means we we cultivate the food grains for the human beings as well as the food grains for the animals. We mix and plant both. And here means we do plant huge areas with only one crop. Either it is tea or cashew or coffee and so on. So there only one crop is planted and that is large area is used and lot of roads are required, network, so that the people can carry these products to the factory to do the processing and from there carry to the market for selling and so on. So these are different types of commercial farming, and the purpose of all this farming is to sell the product in the market and get money, get profit. That is, so lot of money is required, therefore only rich people may be able to do, or we need to have a lot of money in our hand, and then only we'll be able to be successful in this commercial farming. Now let us see about different crops that are grown in the world, the major crops. So the major crops, and the first, so a large variety of crops are grown to meet the requirement of the growing population. We know that is the one main problem that the world is facing, the population explosion. Population is increasing year by, it is not reducing but it is increasing, and therefore we need to find food for them. As the population is increasing, we need to increase the food production also, otherwise they cannot survive. So crops are also supply raw materials and agro-based industries, and so there are also crops growing for based on the agro-based industries. So there are so many industries are there which is based on agriculture products. So we need to, so they are there to provide raw materials. For example, we produce cotton, we cultivate cotton, and that cotton is the raw material for making clothes, for textile industry. So like that, so many things that we produce in the farm, that is not only meant for us to eat, but it is also meant for producing things. So that's why we say they are raw materials for industries also. And major food crops are wheat, rice, maize and millets. So we can underline which are the major food crops. What are they? Wheat, rice, maize and millets. Jute and cotton are fiber crops. So jute and cotton, they are cultivated so that they become raw material for textile industry for producing clothes. The important beverage crops are tea and coffee. So beverage means that is used for drinking. So the crops that we are cultivating for drinking purpose is tea and coffee. So different types we learn. Food crops are wheat, grain, wheat, rice, millet and maize. Wheat, rice, maize and millets, that are food crops. Then what is other crops? Fiber crops, jute and cotton. They are known as fiber crops because those fiber they are used for making clothes. Then beverage crops are tea and coffee. So three types of major crops. One is food crops, second one is fiber crops, and third one is beverage crops. Now let us see one by one. Rice. One of the major crops of the world is rice. People all over the world consume rice, they eat rice. Rice is a major food crop of the world. It is the staple diet of the tropical and the subtropical regions. Rice needs high temperature, high humidity and rainfall. So where do we find this rice growing? We find them growing in tropical and subtropical regions. So it needs high temperature. So where it is too cold, it cannot grow. It needs certain temperature. That is in the tropical region and the subtropical region we will find people cultivating this rice. And what are the requirements for the growth of rice? It needs high temperature, high humidity. The atmosphere should have humidity always. That is containing the water vapors in the air. So it needs containing of water vapors in the air. Humidity it requires. Then it also needs high rainfall. So rice grows where there is hot temperature, humidity and rainfall. These are the three requirements for the growth of rice. You can underline what are the climatic conditions that are required for the growth of rice. Then it grows best in alluvial clay soil which can retain water. The best water suitable for the growth of rice is alluvial soil, the soil that is clay type. It will be absorbing the water, it will be retaining the water, so the soil will not become dry very fast. Water will remain there. If you look in the paddy field and so you see water is remaining inside. It is because it is clay alluvial soil. Then China leads in the production of rice, followed by India, Japan, Sri Lanka and Egypt. So these are the major countries in the world producing large amounts of rice. So China is the first country that produces the highest amount of rice, followed by India. India is second, then Japan, then Sri Lanka, then Egypt. These are the major rice producing countries in the world. And in favorable climatic conditions as in West Bengal and Bangladesh, 2 to 3 crops are grown in a year. So some of the places the conditions are favorable throughout the year. There is no very hot severe. They get enough and more rain or water. Humidity is there. So if those necessary conditions are there, then people can cultivate continuously 2 times, 3 times in a year, because rice needs only maximum 4 months in a year. So in a year 3 times they can cultivate, 4 months, 4 months. First 4 months one cultivation, then second 4 months second cultivation, again they'll cultivate in the third time. So in a year 3 times they can cultivate. So people of Bangladesh and people of West Bengal, they are doing that because that place is very suitable, and they have river, Hooghly river and Brahmaputra river and all is flowing through that way. Therefore they have a lot of water also. Even if there is no rain, they are able to do irrigation. They are able to get water from these big rivers. That way the people are able to cultivate this 3 times in a year. So that is about rice. Then let us come to know about the second biggest crop, that is wheat. Wheat. So wheat requires moderate temperature and rainfall during the growing season and bright sunshine at the time of harvest. So wheat, the climate that is needed, the temperature that is needed is, or the weather that is needed is different. What is the difference? So it requires moderate temperature, not too hot and not too cold. So a moderate, a medium type of temperature it requires, and it requires rainfall also, that is during the growing season. Once it starts flowering and the flower comes out, the wheat comes out, then it needs bright sunshine. So before harvesting it needs some bright sunshine so that the wheat will get matured nicely. And it thrives best in well-drained loamy soil. So the best soil that is needed for the growth of this wheat is loamy soil. Loamy means it is sand and clay mix. So that type of soil is the most suitable one for growing wheat. And wheat is grown extensively in USA, Canada, Argentina, Russia, Ukraine, Australia and India. So these are the countries leading producers of wheat. So first place goes to USA, then Canada, then Argentina, Russia, Ukraine, Australia and India. So India also has got a place in that list of countries producing wheat. Then India, it is grown in winter. So people of India cultivate wheat in which time? Winter. Because summer may be too hot for the wheat. It needs a moderate climate. So maybe people cultivate rice first time. Then after the harvest of the rice, people start cultivating wheat. Because both needs different climates. So people in India cultivate wheat during the winter. So during the summer, they can cultivate rice or some other things. And after the harvest of that, they can cultivate wheat. So that is how farmers are adjusting their cultivation of crops. Then let us learn about another type of crop, that is millet. So millets are also known as coarse grain and can be grown on less fertile and sandy soils. So these millets are known as coarse grain. Coarse means very hard, very rough. So they are not very smooth grain, but they are known as coarse grain. And they can be grown in a land which is less fertile and sandy soil. So the soil that is not good for rice and wheat is used for millet. So millet can grow anywhere, even if the sand is less fertile. And if the sand is not full of clay, it is sandy also, millet can grow. But if the clay is not good, rice and wheat will not grow much. It will not produce much. But that place is suitable for millets. And it is a hardy crop and that needs low rainfall and high moderate temperature and adequate rainfall. So it is a hardy crop. Hardy means very strong crop. We said it can grow even in a sandy place, less fertile place and so on. So the plant is very strong. And that needs low rainfall. It does not need much high rainfall. It needs very little rain. And high to moderate temperature. The temperature should be high, hot places. So India is known for the hot temperature. Therefore, millet is suitable for India. And where the land is not fertile, we can cultivate millets. And it does not need much rain as well. So because it is able to grow in the dry season, just adequate, little sufficient rain is enough. So jowar, bajra and ragi are grown in India. So different types of millets are there. What are they? One is jowar, bajra and ragi. These are the three types of millets. So millet is a common name and there are different types of millets are there. One is jowar, another is bajra and ragi. And other countries are Nigeria, China and Niger. So India is a leading producer or leading cultivator of millets, and apart from India there are also some other countries which are also growing millets. So which are they? They are Nigeria, China and Niger. These are the other three countries that are cultivating these millet products in their country. And another one is maize. Maize products. I hope you all have seen maize and you enjoy maize roasting and eating, isn't it? Okay. So maize requires moderate temperature, rainfall and lots of sunshine. So if you want to cultivate maize successfully or get a good harvest, what you need? You need moderate temperature, so not too hot and not too cold. It should be medium or moderate temperature. Then it needs lot of rainfall as well as sunshine. And it needs well drained fertile soils, so it does not need too much water getting stagnant there. It should be well drained. There should be drains to take out the water. The soil should be wet but not water remaining stagnant there. Then the plant will get rotten. And maize is grown in North America, Brazil, China, Russia, Canada, India and Mexico. So the countries that are producing maize or cultivating maize, which are they? They are America, North America, Brazil, China Russia, Canada, India and Mexico. These are the countries, those who are cultivating this maize. Then let us come to another type of crop. So long we are talking about food crops. Now we come to know or come to discuss about fiber crops, which are the crops that are used for making fiber, thread. Thread is used for making clothes and so on. So earlier we said about two types of fiber crops. One is cotton, another one is jute. So let us learn about them. First let us see cotton. So cotton is a fiber crop and cotton requires high temperature. So it needs a place where high temperature and light rainfall. So it doesn't need much rain, little bit of rain is enough. And 210 frost-free days. So that is very important for cotton. At least 210 days should be there frost-free. Frost means the mist or the snowfall. So there should not be snowfall when the cotton is growing. At least 210 days there should not be frost in the atmosphere. There should not be snow in the atmosphere. Then only this cotton can grow very well and produce good cottons. And bright sunshine for its growth, and just like the other plants, it also needs bright sunshine. So what are the requirements for the growth of cotton? First of all, it needs high temperature, light rainfall and 210 days frost free. 210 at least. Then it needs bright sunshine. And it grows best on black and alluvial soils. You can underline that. What grows on the black and the alluvial soil? So cotton is the best plant for planting the cotton and alluvial in the alluvial soil. So sometimes they'll ask, what is the soil suitable for the growth of cotton? So alluvial soil, black and alluvial soil. China, USA, India, Pakistan, Brazil and Egypt are the leading producers of cotton. So in the world, which are the countries producing cotton? Leading producers. So China is the leading country that is producing a lot of cotton, maximum cotton, followed by USA, then India. So India has got third place in production of cotton, and Pakistan, Brazil and Egypt. These are the other leading countries producing cotton. It is one of the main raw materials for the cotton textile industry. So this cotton is the main raw material for the cotton textile industry. So in order to make cotton clothes, we use cotton. Cotton is the raw material for that. Therefore, India is very famous for cotton clothes, and therefore we need to plant a lot of cotton crops. Then only we can sustain our industry, our textile industry. Otherwise our industry will be a failure. So we need to cultivate a lot. Then we shall wind up today, and we will continue the next day about the rest of the remaining crops. So thank you for listening, and we shall meet on next day. Bye.